You know what makes every outfit look better? The right bra from Third Love. Their bras make it easy to get ultimate cleavage, a smooth look, or even stop your shirt buttons from pulling. They make over 60 sizes, including half cups you won't find anywhere else. So you'll find your perfect fit. Third Love solves bra problems, or what they call brablems. Real women test every style they make. Comfort and support are guaranteed. So stop settling for bad bras. You deserve better. Get your problem solved today. Save $15 on your first order with code PODCAST15 at thirdlove.com.
Welcome to the RuPaul's Drag Race Recap Show for All Stars 10, Episode 5, titled Rappin' Roast. My name is Joe Batanz, and I am joined, as always, by one Rappin' co-host. From the podcast, Pod is my co-pilot. Please say...
Everyone knows you don't trust a fat, nasty bitch.
To Mr. Taylor, the Latte Boy. Hello, Taylor.
Hello, Joe. How are you?
Oh, I am... So I don't know if the right word is dreading or anxious or excited to hear what you're going to talk about today on today's episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Recap. I know you have one locked and loaded. I'm very curious, and we'll get into it in the episode. I'm gonna warn you right now. I'm gonna ask you what you think my opinion is.
I was gonna do that with you.
Oh, really?
I was gonna say to you.
Why don't we play it? Why don't
okay.
we'll play that game when we get to it.
Okay.
But before we get all that, we actually had a very, very I wouldn't call it deep, but a good conversation over it just between us girls. We had a health update from Taylor. Mm-hmm. We had a discussion about Patti LuPone and the drama surrounding her. Also, politics was involved. It was a wide-ranging conversation, and you can get all of that at patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia. If you do it on the web, you can also just get the app on your phone, or Taylor says there's one available for the computer, and find Afterthought Media there. Do you know about the rebranding, Taylor? I should talk about this right now.
Yes, I do actually.
Oh, about gay people complaining? I'm going to start rebranding the Patreon show to Gay People Complaining. And I already have the art. Have I shown you the artwork for it?
No.
I already have artwork for it and everything. And so patreon.com/afterthought media, or look up Afterthought Media on your Patreon app. Or if you don't find it, look up Gay People Complaining. And everything, you can join as a free member. Like right now, we're doing a live. This live is available to free Patreon members. They're watching us do this live, and the complete show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then you can also pay, and you get the show early, no commercials, complete. You get all our... Oh, that's the theme song ended. Anyway, so go to patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia. Once again, people, if you're on Apple Podcasts, you can also just scroll up and get the same thing. You can get Just Between Us Girls. You can get the show uncut, no commercials, same time as everybody else, and that you can get that directly through Apple. It's another thing you can do. But so let's just jump right into it. This week, the girls roast each other in diss tracks performed live on the main stage. On the runway, the category is Little Shop of Hooers. Later, Mistress Isabel Brooks and Georges were named the top 2 All-Stars of the week, forcing them to face off in a lip-sync battle for the win. In the end, they were both named the winners and split the prize money and the 1 additional point. Taylor the Latte Boy, we do this in stages. First question before the break. Were the right 2 queens in the top, and did they both deserve the win? Go.
No and no, but not just for the reason that I think everybody thinks I'm going to say. I think that they seem to be doing a story arc for Nicole Paige Brooks. Mm-hmm. And I thought of everybody, she was one of the best ones. So I really thought it was going to be either Nicole versus Mistress or Georges. Another argument could be made that I thought Tina Burner was actually really good too. Who, again, this is like another week that I talk about how well Tina Burner's doing. So in that regard, no, I don't think that it was. I don't think that the right people, the right 2 were the top 2. As far as the winner goes or winners go, I don't think either one of them deserved the point, honestly. I think that they was probably one of the worst lip syncs that we've seen so far this season. Mistress gave more face. I watched it in a pool with a bunch of other guys, like projected on the side of the house. And I thought Mistress gave more face, but Georges gave more movement. But neither one of them did a great job at it. So I don't know really that either of them deserved the flowers that Rue was giving them, especially in front of Chapel Roan. And I feel like that might be the reason that she did that, because Chapel was there. Had it been somebody else, I don't know that would have been the same. What about you?
Agree and disagree. Agree that it was not the right top two. Disagree completely on your assessment of everything else. What I'm saying is, to me, my favorites, if we're talking strictly the roast, my favorites were Georges and Lydia. I thought the two of them had the strongest raps. Mistress was good too. I would have put them in the top three. If you throw in the looks, I thought Lydia's look was fantastic, especially considering she made it herself and she had like a week to do it.
Right.
I thought Georges looked great. It was the same silhouette Georges is always giving, but she still looked great. I thought Mistress looked like a mess, right? I didn't like Mistress's look. I don't know. We're doing the looks right now.
Right.
But the point is, I probably would have put those two, but that wouldn't have been as interesting. And I also think they didn't. I honestly, truly think Lydia wasn't in the top two because they were like, well, then we're just making her the winner. And we're like, we know she's going to go forward. It's going to be, if we make these other two for story wise and just having a horse race in this competition, we're now making it a horse race, But I think if Lydia would have been there, it'd be like, okay, she's clearly going through, and they didn't want to have that.
But don't you kind of know that now watching?
Yeah. There's no way that this Nicole Paige Brooks or Carrie Colby are going forward. There's just no way. Yeah. It's not happening.
Yeah.
But part two is that they both deserve. No, it's a horrible lip sync. Georges is usually good at lip sync, but she seemed peculiarly, I don't know what the right word is, strangely low energy, which was really weird.
See, and I would say the opposite. It just seemed very erratic. Like she was just throwing everything she could at with the dance moves.
She was, but it seemed almost like rote. Like she wasn't giving. She was doing all the dance moves, but it was just like she was just doing like a paint by numbers of Georges. But there was no more oomph. And then I was surprised by how bad Mistress Isabel Brooks was. Like she just, that bitch can't move. She's doing did she do the fat person high kick?
Yes.
Yeah, of course she did.
The Eureka kick. Yeah.
The Eureka kick and stuff like that. And it was a mess of a lip sync. But like, you're right. I agree with you. I'm sure there was this thing where like Chapel Roan loves drag queens. Remember when Gaga was on, they didn't send anyone home. I feel the same thing happened with Miley Cyrus. When they have a big star, everyone's always happy. No one loses. Everyone gets what they want.
Right.
And so I think that's what happened with Chapel Roan, because that was not if you had to give it to one, it would be to Georges. And they didn't want to do that. So anyway. And also, once again, it still makes it a horse race if it had to split it. And it's still anyone's game. Like Tina Burner could, in theory, win next week, win the lip sync, and be ahead of the pack. I don't know what's going on here. All right. Well, on that note, why don't we take a break? And when we come back, we are going to ask Taylor what his big takeaway from the episode is. I have a feeling I know what it is. We'll be back right after this.
Long gone are the days of waiting to be seen in a doctor's office only to have that awkward conversation with your healthcare provider. Wisp gives you access to sexual and reproductive healthcare from the comfort of your home. Get treatment for BV, yeast infections, UTIs, and much more delivered directly to your home or ready for pickup at your local pharmacy in less than 3 hours. The best part? Wisp is discreet, convenient, and you don't need medical insurance to receive care or prescription medication. Visit us today at hellowisp.com.
USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks, or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Visit USAA.com/bundle.
Bundle savings are off total premium, not available in all states or in all situations. To qualify, auto policy must be active prior to property policy issue, subject to change. Restrictions apply. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
And we are back. All right, Taylor, here's the next question. What was your big takeaway from this episode?
That sometimes evil wins. That it just that sometimes the bullies win. The popular kids, whatever you want to call it. I think that this was a hard episode to swallow.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. In a nutshell, I mean, the end when both of them won felt very much like when the two popular kids in high school that treat everybody like shit get the big award at the end of the year, and they just act like, "Oh my God, this is just so great! What a shock! How amazing!" And meanwhile, everybody else knows what they did to get there, and I just didn't like it.
So I'm gonna say something that you know, Taylor, when you're not here, and then I'll say like, oh, I could hear Taylor screaming from Florida or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear Taylor this and that. Now this is for Robert, okay? Because Robert, be prepared. I'm gonna hear you groan. You know, I call balls and strikes. That's what I pride myself on. On any given Friday, we'll say. Everybody starts equally, and I call it like I see it. I think it's one of the advantages now of being disconnected from the show. If it happens to be an entertaining TV episode, that's great, but I don't have any personal investment in any of the drag queens.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where my big takeaway comes in that, people kept writing to me and hinting to me things, because, they released this segment, the MVQ point thing, earlier in the week.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you saw it then?
Oh, I'm aware. Yes. No, I saw it Thursday night, and I saw it right before I left work, and then came home, and Babalu was like, "Are you okay?" Like, I came in the house mad.
Yeah.
So
I don't watch it. I go, I'm going to have to fucking watch it anyway. I just don't watch it. But people were writing. I go, okay, something fucking happens in this first act. And I'm going to tell you, it made me sick to my stomach. It made me very angry. I could feel my blood pressure going up. I was very, very pissed off. It was disgusting behavior. It was, it actually, and I wanted to address something in that I said last week, I said, I see a lot of myself in Mistress Isabel Brooks, but this is something I would never do. That is not me. I do not play a game like that,
I was on Reddit earlier, which is something that I don't normally do after watching the show, but I had a little bit of time, so I went on there. And I think I talked a lot about you versus Mistress and the differences I see in the two of you. And somebody summed it up in that Mistress does something that you don't ever do, and that's punches down.
Yeah.
And that's something that, despite you're taking the piss out of people and busting balls and that sort of stuff, the line. You're really good at assessing the line. And she sees the line and just kicks the dirt out of the way. Doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. So in terms of as an act itself of what she did, it was reprehensible. It was bad sportsmanship. It was terrible, right?
Yeah.
That said, it was great fucking television.
And that's where I knew you were going to go with this. I knew that was going to be and I can't disagree with you.
Because if you think about the first group, everybody bitched that all they were doing was giving each other the fucking points. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All they did was bitch about how they would. I mean, it was essentially all the points were a wash, you know? And I said this in the last group. I don't remember who I was talking about because my memory sucks when it comes to these shows. But I was saying that this person had an opportunity to make great television and they didn't. Oh, the thing was about Olivia.
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying, you know, it's about making great television. Ultimately, that's what this competition is. It's about making great television. And so forget the points and forget everything else. Georges and Mistress cemented their place in the semifinals because they made great television, and that's what they were rewarded for. Yeah. Now, where it comes to now, if Mistress, I don't think Mistress is this savvy, but if she made the conscious effort to be like, you know what, I'm just going to be a fucking villain, right? Which she does say later, she's always been drawn to the villains and whatever. In a strange way, as much as I hate you and I think you're disgusting, if you're willing to accept the mantle of a just classic TV show, reality TV show villain, and you're fine with that, you know, props to you, mama. Okay? What I get mad at is people who behave villainous, Arietti is a good example here, and then start bitching that people don't like that they're a villain. Okay?
Yeah.
Plain Jane's another example. Well, Plain Jane seems not to care, but go ahead.
You're saying a lot of the things that I was thinking really beautifully in that she leans into it and she's realized that this is her opportunity to make good television. As much as you hate the behavior and you hate the way that she does it, she knows that this is going to keep her going as long as possible. So she is going to, if this is something that she could do, then you know what? Fuck it. Let's play the villain. I mean, I think Candy Muse is sort of another example of that.
But here's the deal. What I'll say, what I'll push back a little bit and is not push back, but
I was going to say, you're going to push back on me agreeing with you?
Yeah. I guess what I will say is I'm not convinced she's that savvy. I'm not convinced she is that self-aware and that cognizant that she's making great television. I actually do think she's just behaving like a mean, miserable fucking cunt. Okay? But on the flip side, again, not calculated. I think she's willing to accept that mantle as well. Because here's the deal. I would have so much more respect for her, and this is where we're going to go to the bullying territory, is if she did this to, and let's see how she behaves in the semifinals if she makes it there, is if she did this to someone who had the social media or drag race capital to strike back. But she did it, speaking of punching down, speaking of bullying, she did it to people that she saw as weak. Yeah. Talk about how she talks about Nicole Page Brooks, and we'll talk about that when we get to that segment. She sees Nicole Page Brooks and Carrie to an extent as worthless and stupid. What I think might even be more obnoxious, maybe with the Carrie one. I don't think she cares about Mistress Isabel Brooks. Mistress Isabel Brooks. Nicole Page Brooks is irrelevant. She doesn't care if she hurts her feelings or anything like that, right? But with Carrie, I think she figures, oh, Carrie's such a dummy. I can just win her back and be nice to her.
Yeah.
You know, I can repair that one. So I don't know that it comes from a perfectly strategic TV place. I think I'd respect that more. I actually think, honestly, I just mentioned her. I think Plain Jane does think like that. But I wouldn't put Mistress in that category.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Did you have any other thoughts on this topic? Obviously, we're going to talk about it more when we get. I have a bunch of notes, but I have a whole page of notes about after the lip sync.
No, I think that we can just save it for when we talk about that first act.
All right, so then why don't we do this? Why don't we say goodbye to our public feed friends? So while you untuck in the Form Decor Lounge, Taylor and I will deliberate. Now, sashay away. All right, well, let's move on to the Maxi Challenge. This is the Rappin Roast. Let's go down the line here. Tina Burner was the first one out with a Rappin Roast. Did you have any particular notes here?
Well, okay. I know one of the complaints that Michelle had was that she couldn't understand what people were saying. We had closed captions on, so we were actually just kind of reading the verses as they were saying them. So I wasn't really listening to how they were saying them. So I don't know. Did you have closed captions on, or did you?
It's funny you say it. The first time I didn't, and I did have trouble understanding, but I knew I'd be watching it again. So I did have to, particularly with Tina, watch hers with the closed captions on. It was very difficult to understand her.
Okay, so then maybe that does make sense, because Tina's was, I think, my favorite of everybody's.
Really?
I thought it was very well done, and it was smart. I can see the critique of it was a lot of words, but that was the one that I think we laughed. There was something that I don't remember any of the particular jokes, but that was where we laughed the hardest at one of the things that she said.
I couldn't really understand. I thought it was meh. Okay. Did you watch it again? Were you able to hear it in rhythm, or you only have memory of the captions?
I only have memory of the captions.
Yeah, I wonder if we would have compared them just by reading them, what we would think. I do think there was something about the way they were spitting the rhyme and the flow and whatnot that does weigh in here. And so I think her flow, I don't know if that was necessarily that great.
Okay.
So, okay. Next we have Nicole Paige Brooks.
Nicole's was awesome. I thought Nicole's was one of those that was a pleasant surprise, because that was going to go one of two ways. That was either going to be where she really shit the bed, or she was going to do great. And I feel like she did great. She did great and stayed, stuck to herself. Did you understand that the FAG was from Atlanta, Georgia?
Yeah.
Okay, because in my head, she was just spelling out a slur.
Okay.
So, but that when they talked about that later, I was like, oh, that's what that means. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, I knew. I thought it was awful, but
really?
in a very campy, oh, this is so awful, it's camp kind of way. Because I think Nicole generally thought it was good. Again, I think you should rewatch these with the volume. Maybe even keep the captions up. But yeah, you should rewatch them with the volume. I didn't get the sense that it was very good. Lydia B. Collins, your thoughts?
I thought Lydia's was pretty good. I don't get the critique of you seemed timid. She didn't seem timid to me, especially going into this having won her previous roast challenge. I thought she came out pretty confident and had a good showing. Hers
was pretty good. Her cadence was a little off here and there, but she was ultimately good. I think they need to justify why she's not in the top two. Mistress Isabel Brooks.
I was very surprised she made top two, because I thought hers was the second to worst. We're going to talk about the worst one. Yeah, I just thought it was not as. I feel, or maybe it was Carrie's, but it wasn't as biting, at least the first part of it. She almost wasted space in the beginning, sort of talking about how great she is, and then went into talking about everybody else like really fast. But even then, the hits weren't quite as hard as they could have been, that I was expecting from her, because she made a big deal. This is what I do. This is what I'm known for, sort of thing. So you kind of expected her to really, really. I expected to be impressed by that, and I wasn't. It wasn't impressive to me. I was not entertained.
I thought it was solid. I thought it was good. It wasn't the best one for me, but I thought it was solid. Georges.
I did think Georges's was really good. I thought that she was pretty funny. She did add dance to it, whereas I feel like a lot of the other ones didn't. If whether or not that's a crutch, that's to be said. But I could see when it was over, I said in the pool, she's one of the top two.
Oh, okay. Do the people in the pool know you have a podcast about this?
Yes, a couple of them do. Yes, but they I don't think I've told them the name of it.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to tell them the name of it?
Oh, I don't give a shit. But I was just curious, like, if you're like, excuse me, as an expert on this, I want to tell you what this feels like or this looks like to me. And then finally, we have Carrie Colby.
Horrible.
It was just one of those, what do you call those tracks where they just talk about themselves?
Every other Rue song
Yeah.
that Queens have ever done.
I'm going to come here and I'm going to make, what? This
come on, Mama Rue, give me the crown.
Yeah. And I was like, this is what she brought? Like, she would have been eliminated if this were an episode.
Yes, absolutely. She would have been eliminated.
100%. All right. Well, now it's time for the looks. I've been trying to find, because I think we should have music. I should have put a music bed here. I should find the Bring It to the Runway music and put that in here. That would be a good one. Let's see what this one that came with my mixer is. Okay. No, this is horrible. I'm not gonna do that. Maybe we'll just do right now. We'll do. Why don't we do the Rulaska Thoughts theme? Oh no, you're gonna be really funny. What if we did the throwing down cooking song?
I actually hate this song, but that makes it even better. That makes it better.
Okay, until we get a better song, this is today's song bed under Taylor. Taylor, the looks, the category is Little Shop of Hooers.
Little Shop of Hooers.
Yeah, where they actually just all did plants or something like that. But
yes. Yeah.
But
so
go ahead.
The first person who came out was Tina Burner. She walked the runway in a sculptural white flower-inspired outfit with oversized petals framing her body and a headpiece featuring tall yellow stamens and a small flower detail. Her look transformed on the runway, opening to reveal a pink floral bodysuit accented with more delicate petals and yellow thigh-high boots. The transformation showcased layers of petal-like structures that shifted from white to pink with each reveal. This was very pretty. I thought this was a really pretty look from Tina. Mm-hmm. And she almost looked feminine in it. She tends to be very linebacker to me, but I thought in this regard she actually looked pretty good.
What a compliment. All right, very good. Who do we have next?
Next up was Georges. She presented a form-fitting high-cut bodysuit in green with neon yellow accents, featuring exaggerated Venus flytrap details, complete with spiky, toothy outlines around her arms and legs. The bodysuit was adorned with vibrant pink floral appliques and included thigh-high matching boots with sculpted green spikes. She completed the look with two pink and green high ponytails styled in dramatic loops. A great look. I thought, when she has looks that are really great, this look felt elevated to what we expect from Georges. I thought it was super clean, super just an all-stars look and still spoke to her brand as where we wear bodysuits and thigh highs and all of that sort of thing.
All right, very good. I will say, people should know, if you watch the video version of this episode, maybe I'll pull the clip of just the looks. We show the looks on the video. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. We show the looks on the video so you guys can see them as we're talking about them. All right, Taylor, who's next?
Next up is Nicole Paige Brooks. Nicole Paige Brooks showcased a head-to-toe green bodysuit with a detailed sculptural silhouette resembling a stylized Venus flytrap. No, she didn't. It was supposed to be a cactus.
AI doesn't know. They just see green.
The look featured protruding green and yellow spikes along the arms, hips, and legs with intricate petal and leaf-shaped structures that wrapped around her body. Midway through the presentation, she removed a mask to reveal a pink flower detail, maintaining the cohesive botanical theme. No, she didn't. She had a white bodysuit on that was supposed to represent the meat of the cactus.
Let me peek behind the curtain here. This music is this look was particularly difficult for some of the AI looks because there were reveals in the middle.
Yeah.
And I've tried uploading GIFs to ChatGPT, but it can't read the GIF. So I have to take photos, but it has to interpret what that photo is. And so I think that gums up the works. Hers was particularly difficult. for it because of the looks. For some reason, like it was fine with Tina, and I think it's actually fine with Carrie. Maybe I don't remember, but yeah.
Well, as far as the look goes, I think that had she not done that reveal that didn't make any sense, I think that kept her from being in top 2. Honestly, I think that the reason that they didn't give her that was that the look, she kind of went into where she was just wearing a white bodysuit. I mean, one thing I can say is she definitely upped her makeup game. Is that was drag, the way that she did her makeup, but otherwise it sort of didn't make any sense. If she had kept the cactus outfit on, I feel like it would have been better for her.
All right.
Next up is Lydia B. Collins, and she wore a floor-length black velvet gown with sculpted off-the-shoulder rose-like detailing on the bust and diagonal strap accents. She carried in an oversized puppet resembling Audrey II from Little Shop of Horrors, complete with teeth and red flowers. Her hairstyle was an elaborate updo accented with a red highlight matching the floral theme. So there was a bit of a debate in the pool because people were saying that this looked too much like Susie Toots' look from just a couple of weeks ago. And people were like, why would she do that if she knew that there was going to be another look previously, that had just aired a couple of weeks before? Susie Toot had the look towards the end where her arms were fake and she had two puppets.
I think that was at the finale though. At the either the finale or for the what was it he said?
Was that the finale?
Yeah, it was or the lip sync off or whatever. It wasn't during the main season, yeah.
Well, that makes my argument even better. Then I will be sure to tell everybody from the pool that when we hang up, in that I said, yeah, but you also figure she got these prompts for looks and she's famously said that she's only had 4 or 5 days. You got to come up with something. Yeah. And maybe this was what she did. But yeah, if she hadn't even seen the look yet from Susie, then that makes even more sense that that's where she came up with.
Yeah.
Mistress Isabel Brooks.
Yeah.
Mistress appeared in a green iridescent bodysuit adorned with bold, exaggerated yellow spikes and large pink floral shapes at the shoulder and headpiece. Her silhouette was dramatically enhanced with multiple layered, curved panels around the hips and legs, giving a stylized cactus effect. The entire look shimmered under the runway lights with a high neckline and matching green boot covers. I thought when she came out that she was doing Ginger Minge's look from All Stars 2.
Oh, interesting. I could see that.
That's exactly what I thought it was. And when they said for a cactus, and I was like, oh, so then I'm thinking, is that what Ginger was trying to do on All Stars 2? So that was sort of my thought with that. But obviously I was not a fan. But at that point, I was just so angry at her. She could have come out in the most beautiful outfit ever. Yeah. And I would have been like, whatever.
Garbage
person. So, and then last up was Carrie Colby. Carrie entered in a voluminous, spiky gown blending bright pink, blue, and purple hues, featured an asymmetrical slit and a large wing-like structure extending from her back. She was Venus Flytrap as well. The look transformed in 2 stages, first revealing a butterfly-inspired multicolored wing ensemble with a pink tulle train, and finally transforming into a nude illusion bodysuit encrusted with crystals. Her hair was styled in an intricate white sculptural updo, maintaining the floral and transformative theme throughout. This was beautiful. Mm-hmm. I thought that she looked amazing in it. It gave drama, it gave drag, it gave body, it just everything about it was. We all gasped when the dress kind of came off and she was in that silver sort of one piece thing. I just thought she was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, look, no one denies that Carrie does a good job with looks. It's just not what the entire show is. They should have an offshoot of the show that's just body, yaddy, yaddy, look. And that's all it is, But they don't, and that's why I need to produce one. All right, guys. Well, those are the looks. All right. Well, on that note, thank you, Taylor. Why don't we bring back my girls? All right, back on the main stage, Georges and Mistress Isabel Brooks were named the top 2 All-Stars of the week, forcing them to face off in a lip-sync battle for the win. The song, Hot to Go by Chapel Roan. In the end, both queens were named the winner of the lip-sync and split the point, giving them each an additional half point. At this stage in the competition, Mistress and Georges each have 4.5 points. Lydia has 3 points, Tina has 2, and Carrie and Nicole each have 0 points. Taylor the Latte Boy, any final thoughts on the episode?
I mean, I feel like I've said a lot. Obviously, we've said from the beginning, you could tell in each of the brackets who are the front runners, and this just proved what I had been thinking. I think that I would be surprised if next week it was anybody but Lydia that goes with Mistress and Georges to the semifinals.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much Mistress, Lydia, and Georges. Though I could see, what is the challenge next week?
It's the Rusical.
Yeah, I think there is a chance for what you could see. We don't know yet. You could see a circumstance where Tina does what if Tina places.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think if Tina has to place. Yeah, if Tina places, those other girls who are pissed could give her the points to surpass one of them.
Yeah.
But then Mistress and Georges are tied, and RuPaul would have to decide. I think she's gonna go. Oh, I don't know who she goes with. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Well, whichever one she doesn't go with, the other, you can guarantee that the other one will come back for the wild card.
Oh yes, 100%. You're right.
So.
All right.
That's I mean, it's one of those where you kind of watch this sort of like, okay, well, we know who's going to the semifinals, but again, as you've famously said before, it's RuPaul's world and we all just live in it.
And we all just live in it. And on that note, we're going to call it a day. That's going to do it for this week's episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Recap. Be sure to join us next week as we continue to discuss, dissect, and deconstruct each brand new episode of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 10. So for Taylor the Latte Boy and myself,
sashay away until next week.
Thank you for listening to Drag Race Recap. Have something to say? Leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/afterthoughtmedia. You can also email us at dragracerecap@afterthought.media. For more Drag Race and LGBTQ+ content, support us over at patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia. Special thanks to these expensive tier Patreon supporters: April Pacheco, Astute Girl, Brad Coley, Coco San Pedro, Derek Byers, Doofus Maximus, E. Smith, Efren Barbosa, Phil Skit Pony, Flying Suki, Humble Pie, J. Thomas Plink, Kathy Zender, Katie Whitmire, Lauren Eckert, Lucy Carrasco, Mary S., Mike Yeager, Nikki Baker, Nikki Pettit, Polly Anne-Marie, Poppy Woods, Ricardo Herrera, Runner Brandon, Sarah Yu, Tom Bobbs, Travi Cosmos, and Troy Anderson. Drag Race Recap is an Afterthought Media podcast.